Hello everyone, welcome back to our second episode in our Stellaris tutorial series. I'm Assassinator and let's get started. So, some things I want to cover from the first episode real quick is I went over the character creation and walked you through that. But I didn't show you guys the pre-made characters, there are quite a few of these. And they're all pretty good. You can start off with either one of these and they'll start you right where you need to be. Character creation is for maybe a bit more advanced or a bit more specific type of gameplay. With that said, with this tutorial series leading into a Let's Play that I want to do, I went ahead and made a bio for this. For my species that I created last time. I also changed up the name and stuff, which will go along with the bio, so I do want to go over a bit of that with you. So with species name, we did change it to humans, because this is going to be on Earth. Let's see, we changed some of the traits up. We ended up, we have Survivor. Oh, this is required because we have the Tomb World. But I went with traditional. So traditional adds 10% unity. I went with sedentary, which pop growth and immigration is minus 15%. Resettlement cost is plus 25%. Decadence, workers happiness and slave happiness is down 10%. And very strong, with army damage being 40% and worker basic resource output being 5%. So the main reason for that is, let's see where. Okay. So for our biography, now I couldn't write it in here because it was far too long. So I am just going to read it to you here real quick to give you an idea of our background. So the year is 2020 and the world is changing dramatically, from politics to climate change to financial instability. The United States had just re-elected their president for a second term. With the Democratic Party outraged, they tirelessly tried to get the president removed from office. The Republican Party, equally outraged at Democrats for their inability to move forward and accept their defeat, tried to dissolve their party. With tensions rising on both sides, it wasn't long before violence erupted between them, starting the Second Civil War. Many countries around the world saw this as a political, financial, or moral opportunity within the fractured United States and began picking sides to support, leading to the Third World War. The United Kingdoms, Canada, Mexico, and a handful of other small countries joined the Democrats and formed the Democratic Federation of Earth. The DFE believes in uniting all people under equality, happiness, and freedom. Russia, China, North Korea, and the rest of the countries have joined the Republicans and formed the Republic Empire of Humanity. The REH believes that they must return to the old ways, and through a single leader and a strong military can this be achieved. So now jumping 54 years later, and the year is now 2074, the Earth is struggling to recover from decades of war. The Republic Empire of Humanity emerged victorious, and they vowed to strengthen humanity by taking to the stars and growing their empire. And that is what leads us into the specific traits that we've picked as far as traditional, sedentary, decadence, and very strong, also making us a survivor. Now, the survivor is due to a post-apocalyptic world, so we are on a tomb world because the war lasted nearly 54 years. For a good portion of the last 50 years, bombs were being dropped and people were dying. Millions of people were dying. And then we have barbaric despoilers, which cannot form migration treaties, cannot join federations because we don't believe in working with others, has a despolition Circe's belly on all other empires, because as the Republic Empire of Humanity, we feel like we're better than everybody, and everybody is beneath us. All right. It unlocks a raiding bombardment stance, so this way we can raid other worlds. We can also abduct their pops and bring them back to our worlds and enslave them. And of course, other empires' opinion of us is going to be lower for that. We are an imperial government. Upon ruler death, a designated successor becomes a new ruler. And with that, we are an authoritarian. We are a militarist. And we are xenophobes. So we can purge aliens. We can enslave aliens. Of course, decreased opinion for other species. We cannot give aliens full citizenships. They cannot have full military service and cannot use refugee welcome. Military will give us claim influence cost -10 and ship fire rate +10. An authoritarian will be a monthly influence plus 0.5% and worker basic resource output 5%. Let's see. Our advisor voice is actually pretty cool. I'll go ahead and play it.
Under no circumstances must the Xeno be trusted. It will lie, it will cheat, and it will do anything in its power to undermine the efforts of those who in truth are its superiors.
I feel like that's perfect. It works perfectly. So the empire name, the Republic Empire of Humanity, the REH. This is our flag, ship appearance, and of course our ruler, Vimas Wek, and he is the emperor. And that's pretty much all that I've done with that. So that gave us a bit of a background. You know, of course, this is still a tutorial, and leading into a Let's Play, I just wanted it to have somewhat of a purpose and a background. Okay, so we are going to leave all the settings here on the default settings. 9 empires, 2 of them will have advanced starts. There are 2 fallen empires, 2 marauder empires. Everything's pretty basic. Difficulty, I will actually, let's see. Let's put it on captain. Scaling difficulty, I'll put that on. Yeah, aggressiveness cluster, that's fine. Advanced neighbors off, I'm okay with that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and play and get this started. Okay, so right off the bat here we have this pop-up whenever you start a game. In the eons since the first primitive humans, communities took shape in the meadows of the forests of Earth. Our civilization has spread and prospered. But REH society was not always united towards a common goal. In centuries past, mounting tensions between competing nations came to an apocalyptic head in a global thermonuclear war that claimed the lives of billions and forever marred the surface of Earth. In the decades that follow, surviving humans faced radiological contaminations, mutations, famine, and violent tribalism. It was in this grim crucible that their Republic Empire of Humanity was truly forged, and with it a new world order. Now, after the discovery of hyperlane networks, the finest minds of the Republic Empire of Humanity have finished their development of the first hyperdrive. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. So I did notice a few typos. The THR is actually supposed to be THE. That's my fault. And I should probably put the in front of REH, so it says the REH. We can go back in and edit that later. It's fine for right now.
For you.
Advisor. Good day, Mr. President. Except I'm not a president, I'm an emperor. I am VAR, a prototype synthetic intelligence. My job is to offer advice and assistance as we seek our destiny among the stars. You can change a tutorial level at any time in the settings. Okay, so I'm okay with new tutorial.
Let's not be hasty.
This is going to be a tutorial video, so I don't need a tutorial to teach me how to do a tutorial. So let's start with what all these mean up top here, because there's quite a few up here. So the first one's going to be your energy credits. This is pretty much kind of like your money that you're going to use to buy a lot of things and trade. It's also your upkeep for a lot of things, as you can see in there, consumed. So it's an upkeep for ships, for stations, star bases, buildings, and districts. In the description there, as you can see, energy credits is energy-backed currency accepted by all spacefaring races. And you can gain more by building more generator districts, construction ships, and mining stations and markets. I'll show you how to do all that. Next is going to be your minerals. So your minerals is a collective term for a basic resource we need to construct ships, stations, and planetary buildings. And then you get more of these through mining districts, construction ships, and mining stations in the market as well too. Next one's going to be food. Food represents the various nutrients required to sustain and grow your pops, or short for population. You can grow more with agricultural districts and by buying more in the market. Next are going to be your consumer goods. Your consumer goods is an advanced resource that represents the various gadgets, luxuries, and goods necessary to give your pops a good life and perform intellectual jobs such as research. Next is going to be your alloys. Alloys are advanced resources with military applications which we need to construct ships and star bases. Next is going to be your influence. Your influence represents political court and is used for many things like edicts and claims, outposts, factions. The gain rate remains fairly consistent throughout the game, but can be increased through different means. Next is going to be your unity. Unity is used to unlock new traditions, which I will go over the traditions in a little bit. Okay, next is your research. This gives you a breakdown of different researches that you have. You have your physics research, society research, and engineering research. We will go more in depth in the research here in a minute. These are going to be your rare minerals, your volatile motes, exotic gas, rare crystals, living metal, xyro, dark matter, and nanites. These can be used for different things, for trading, for construction of special items and whatnot. Okay, then your Empire Sprawl. Your Empire Sprawl is a measure of the territorial expanse of your empire in the form of controlled systems, colonies, and districts. A high Empire Sprawl is a strain on your empire's administrative capacity and will increase the cost of technologies, traditions, leaders, edicts, and campaigns. So next, it just shows your empire systems, how many star systems you own and how many colonized worlds you own. Next is how many colonized worlds, which we just have one, which is the Earth. Next is your total population. So we have 24 humans on Earth. Next is your starbase capacity. So this shows how many starbases you're allowed to have inside any given system. So we have 1 out of 3. We have 1 starbase in this system. And next is your naval capacity. This shows how many ships you can have and how many we do have. So we have 3 ships out of 20 being our capacity. Now each ship does have a different cost when which we get to ships, I will show you. But generally your corvettes are like, they cost 1, so we can have 3. We could have 20 corvettes, or your destroyers would cost like 2, in which case you can have 10 destroyers, which would hit that 20 cap. Okay. So that's going to be your basic resources, and each one will go more in depth as we play along. Next is going to be right up here. These are going to be your like notification tabs. So right now it's showing us we don't have any scientists researching anything, or we don't have any research. We have the scientists. We don't have anything for the scientists to research. All right. So if we go ahead and click on the physics, as you can see, we got a physics researcher, Japra Weck, and we have a society researcher, Gapara Nick, and a Fawn Vargas for engineering. So now how the research technology works is there's a big pool of research, and it randomly takes 3 researches and presents it to you whenever it's time for you to select a research. So you'll never get the same 3 researches at the start of each game. It's always going to be random, just to make the game a bit more unique. So for our physics, we have 3 options here. A blue laser for our military. We have field modulation. Energy credits from technicians are plus 20%, so that'll help us generate more energy credits. And then a global energy management. This unlocks the building energy grid and an edict capacity overload, which again helps with all of our energy credits. All right, so let's go ahead and pick the blue laser for military. Now it does say it's going to take 138 months for us to research that, but as your research gets better, that'll get faster. Also, as far as your researchers, each one has an ability. Like this one's Spark of Genius, research plus 10%. Right? Each researcher will have a different ability, so you can mix and match those to get what you need to research it a bit faster, to kind of min-max it. Okay, next is going to be society. So for society, we have gene mapping, pop growth 10%, society research from researchers 20%, or ground defense planning, naval capacity from soldier jobs plus 2, and defense army damage plus 33%. So for now, I think, because we do have, no, we don't have anything hindering our pop growth. So actually, let's go ahead and start growing our pop, because I think that would be pretty good to do. So now for engineering. Afterburners, we can unlock those. Powered exoskeletons, if we want more army damage and minerals from jobs, 5%. And then courier operations unlocks basic strike crafts and hangar bays. We don't have any ships that can carry these, so this is really not that big of a deal right now. Powered exoskeletons, probably not that big of a deal. We're not going to be doing any, we're going to war right soon, so I think afterburners is going to be our best bet. Now we can go ahead and close this page. All right, so that was our research. I took care of all of our notifications. So here on the screen, this is going to be the solar system that we are currently in. You can click this button right here for the galaxy map. It'll zoom out and you can see the entire galaxy map. Now each one of these dots is a star system, and within each star system you'll have more planets and whatnot. So let's go ahead and close that, and we will talk about what we got in front of us right here. So of course you have like Mars, Earth, Titan, Saturn, and then next to these you'll see these little symbols corresponding for either the research or minerals, energy credits. So this is how you would improve the amount that you are gaining as far as research goes, energy credits. Food is done on the planet, which we will get to that. So each one of these, if it's a white number, that means you don't have any mining stations with it gathering that resource. If it's green, then you do. So if we take a look over here at Uranus, we have 5 energy credits with this mining station right here. So this mining station is gathering 5 energy credits for us. If we go over here and take a look at Europa, Europa has 3 minerals for us, but we have no mining station here. So each one of these little symbols right here with the cross, pickaxe and shovel is a mining station gathering certain minerals. Next on this in this area we have our star base right here that orbits around the sun. This star base, you can do a multiple of different things. If you click on it, you can downgrade it or upgrade it, details. As you upgrade it, more modules become available for you to get into. Your defense of that station and your shipyard where you can construct ships. So we will go more in depth in that later. Just want to finish covering the rest of this. So now over here to the right, you have your outliner. This is just like a quick link to things that are important within your empire. So your sectors, Earth, which is going to be your planet. Sorry, we will get to that in a minute. Your space station, which is of course what I just showed you. Your military fleet. So this is going to be our ships. As we can zoom in here, kind of, let's see if we can pan around a bit. We could see our ships right there. This is our military fleet right now, which is kind of small. All right. Then we have our construction ship, which is right here too. Let's go ahead and move him over there. Oh, we have to play it. Let's go ahead and play it so he can kind of move it, and then we'll pause it. All right, so there is our construction ship. He's the one that builds all the mines. So if we wanted to build a mine here on Titan, we would instruct our construction ship to do that. Next is going to be our research ship. Our research ship will have a researcher on him, Sapra Fen, and we will order him to go around the galaxy and start surveying different worlds and unlocking more science. Let's go ahead and return to that. Okay. So these are just shortcuts to get to and from different places of your empire. So you're not really searching through it. So next down here are going to be just different views. So if you wanted a sector map mode, hyperlanes, this is for if we go out here. Sector map mode, the hyperlanes. We can turn that one off. Empire map mode, this shows the empire. Diplomatic, opinions, AI, attitudes, and neighbors, which we don't have any of those, and once we do, I'll demonstrate those. Next you have go to, it'll go directly to your home. Search if you're looking for something specific. Chat for multiplayer, your help. And then details map mode. Now this, I like this on. So this will show you everything that's in that system when you're on the galaxy map mode. So as you can see here, 10 energy credits. There's 12 total, 2 that we don't have. For minerals, there's 10 total, 3 that we don't have. And 5 science credits that we don't have. And so this is if you uncheck this, it's only going to show you what you have left. If you leave it, it gives you a more ideal, what's the word that I'm looking for? It shows everything, what you have and what you don't have, rather than just what you don't have. And what is that? Oh, that's my trade value. Okay. So this shows where your trade value is. Okay. So that covers that. Let's see. And of course, this shows that this goes between the galaxy map and that map. This shows your empire, which is the same button up here in the top left as you have right here. These 4 down here. So this is your Earth, or your planets. The second key is your military. Third one's your research. Fourth one's your construction. So this will show your military ships in there. This is your research ship. This is your construction ship. Those are just more quick links to certain places that if you want to go ahead and hotkey those at certain places. All right. So the next is this menu over here. But I'm going to leave this for another episode because I believe that's about all the time that we have. So we covered the top resources, the quick links over here on the right, down here on the bottom, the different map views, and the quick links on the bottom left. And we will cover all these menus in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, if it was helpful, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put those in there as well too, and any remarks. If you liked what you watched, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next episode.